A man who always has that old car smell. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on. The choice man to get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing. Ryan Long and Danny Mullen back in studio.
The dream team is back together.
There's dates, there's podcasts, there's YouTubes, Danny Mullen Officials, where you can go and check out all his great YouTube stuff. And Ryan's got dates all over the place. Go to RyanLongComedy.com. The Boys Cast with Ryan Long as well, if you want to listen to a podcast. Good to see you guys again.
Yes, sir. And we're like boys now. Adam had me on his show in New York.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. That was great.
So let's see where to start. Music is where I want to start. Ryan, I know you did some ska work in your day.
That's correct.
Did you guys have
the most hated music?
It's pretty gay. Did you guys have a dancer in your band? Just a guy who danced?
Like the Bosstones?
Like the Bosstones, yeah.
No, I think that was only the Specials and the Bosstones. There was a few bands that were also experimenting with a guy that just danced. I think when you start buying flights, you're just like, oh, does the dance guy...
Dickie from the Bosstones always told me that everyone got the same money, whether you danced or played the saxophone or wrote the songs. Like, the dancer got paid the same.
See that? I feel like that's a recipe to everyone to start really hating the dancer.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
It's like in Slipknot, the sampler. The guy wearing
the ninth
mask
drummer.
The guy who bangs the trash can.
Yeah.
Well, also, what it inevitably gets into is at some point you're like backstage and you're sitting around and the show's going to start in an hour, and then somebody who actually plays an instrument in the band goes, oh shit, I'm out of cigarettes. And then somebody says, we got to do sound check. Who's going to get the cigarettes? And then the dancer guy goes, not me.
I got to stretch.
I gotta be there.
That's where they hate that guy. And it's like, well, we have to go out for sound check. And he's like, I got to stretch. I got to limber up.
If the bus is ready to leave and the dancers at some chick's house.
Yeah. So I think we're drilling down on something here, which is I, as a guy who pays for everything and does everything, conveniently, it's the way I look at myself.
I hear that, brother.
I have pretty endless tolerance for those who do nothing and just take my money and waste it. Mm-hmm. It's when they start going, you go pick up the takeout or you go whatever. And I'm like, I'm paying for the fucking takeout and for your car. Go get the takeout. Like that, because inevitably it'll get to that place. And I always tell everyone, you can be the shittiest employee in the world, just bring donuts on Monday. That's all. You'll be employed. They will look past your horrible performance and eat
don't
those
question
donuts.
your decisions. Like if you're like, okay, you know what, we got to go an extra hour today. You're the guy that I don't want to hear a big hoopla from.
Right, the dancer. You know what? All the dancers from all the ska bands should form a super group where there's no music playing and they're all just on stage just going by each other in skinny black ties.
I'll tell you what, I've seen some of those bands have like reunions. The dancer didn't get called.
Didn't make it.
Well, those are cash grabs, right?
They're busy.
Yeah.
The dancer's got another gig. That dancer's working at Dunkin' Donuts right now.
Yeah, don't quit your dance job is the new rallying call.
That's the same thing as like Silicon Valley. You know, they got a lot of extra employees when times are crushing it. Mm-hmm. And then now that all those companies were kind of dipping and the stock market's crashing, it's like people start looking at like, what do you do here?
Oh, listen, I've been on the campus of like Pixar and some of those places. Amazing.
Yeah, but they don't need the kind bar salesman.
Or the gender safety
that's
officer.
the whole thing. Like, I walked through Pixar with the guy who runs Pixar, and I was like, well, foosball table and cafeteria and stuff. And I was like, I could walk past an employee playing foosball in the middle of the day twice, but the third time I passed him and he was still playing foosball, I just fucking run up to him and go, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, I'm not paying you to play foosball. And, but back in the salad days when they just had, like literally at Pixar, they'd go, if you want to do archery, all you have to do is find 2 more employees that want to do archery, and we will hire an archer to come in and teach. You will do it during the day, in the middle of the thing. And I think back in the salad days, you could have probably petitioned for a ska dancer. Like, you could have won. You know what gets my creative juices flowing, boss? I need a guy in a skinny tie and a hat from the 40s wearing Wayfarers just dancing here. We've all agreed in the writer's room that if that guy did his dancing, we would be a lot more productive.
Yeah, and I also want him to come down on a slide.
Yes. So the ska. Well, ska had its day.
There was a moment for sure.
Certainly.
Technically there was a few moments, and they're called waves in the industry.
Right. We had the No Doubts and the Real Big Fish and the Boss Tones and
the first thing was the kind of in Jamaica,
right,
which was the Wailers and all that sort of stuff. And then I think there was the two-tone kind of the second wave, which was it's kind of like the reggae guys and the punk guys in Britain getting together.
Yeah, I was kind of saying
that's kind of what the specials
ska
was
seemed to be born from how can we make reggae worse? It's annoying, but it's not grating. You know what I mean? Like, I feel that way with reggaeton music. If you ever listen to reggaeton music, it's like a bunch of people got together and this went, mariachi music, and this genre of music is annoying and it drives people insane, but I think we could up our game. I think we could take ranchero music and make it unlistenable.
Well, yeah, they did the same thing with punk, where it was kind of like, hey, how can we make punk more annoying? It was like, hey, let's raid the band department of every high school and then put them in the punk band and don't change their outfits whatsoever.
So speaking of music, I marvel at what I call...
what do you think's worse, by the way? Sorry to interrupt you. Yes. What do you think's worse, ska or rap rock? I
like ska better. I'm making fun of ska, but I like a lot of those bands. So I'll go with rap rock is worse.
I'm going rap rock is better, man.
You would like rap rock.
Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water, dude. One of the first CDs I ever got.
I can picture you setting the mood with a girl to POD.
Oh, dude. No, POD is Christian. You can't fuck to POD. But dude,
boom,
dude, Limp Bizkit is funny though. Like the early Limp Bizkit albums are like comedy albums.
They're really self-aware.
Yeah, like they know they suck.
Yes.
Like Fred Durst is aware that he's a douche with a red baseball hat and a puffy jacket.
He's our Yoko Ono. Like he's a talentless person that possesses no musical ability at all. He's annoying as shit, but we all know his name.
And he was batting way out of his league romantically, just like Yoko Ono. He was fucking Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera,
Fred Durst.
All the
A-listers.
A-listers.
An Eminem song.
No, dude, all the A-listers. He was there. He was like at the height of the MTV totem pole in 1999.
Hey, he headlined Woodstock, right?
Yeah, my friend Nick Santora is a very accomplished writer.
Right.
Writes FUBAR and everything, Prison Break, everything. He wrote a feature, a true story about I think it was a black high school girl who actually started on the varsity team. He wrote this great script, and he sold it. And he was having the greatest day of his life. And at some point, they told him, he's directing? And they're like, who? Fred Durst. And he's like, really? And he's like, yeah, he's directing. And they did a shitty job of directing the film. And that was it.
We're also adding in some scenes where there's a chainsaw skinning your ass raw.
But that was him at the height of his powers, right?
Yeah. He was dipping his toe into directing for a little bit.
So I'm listening. So I'm obsessed with what I call statutory rape rock. All those songs from the 60s and the 70s, even into the 80s. Oingo Boingo, I Like Little Girls. It's not called I Like Girls.
We don't like rap rock. We like rape rock.
Rape rock.
Head PE was, I remember their big song. Well, one of them, it was like, something, and my girlfriend's only 17, and it was like that. That was, I guess it used to be 16, but...
You're 16, you're beautiful in your mind, young girl... Get out of my mind. My love for you is way out of line. With a lot of and each one has lyrics. Yeah, like going like they say no, but my heart says yes. Like they is her stepdad and the principal of her junior high, and it's society.
Your parole officer.
Yeah, your parole officer. It's endless. It's endless. But and I think I thought I had discovered every statutory rape rock song that's ever been done, because I've been drilling down on this for more than 20 years.
Who's the number one?
Gary Puckett, I think, in the Union Gap has Young Girl. And
Gary Puckett.
I think Gary Puckett in the Union Gap, I think, have Young Girl. And I discovered a line who's not, this guy isn't known for statutory rape.
Okay.
And he's Bob Seager.
He slipped one in?
He slipped one in. Now, he did do Night Moves, which he's talking about taking a young chick, but he was young too.
That's kind of what I was
He's
saying,
going, I was 16 and,
I was a little too tall, could use a few pounds.
Yeah, he was young, he was 16, she was 9, but it was cool, it was the 70s. Now, Night Moves was one of those, we learned about love in the back of a Chevy, kind of both of you, John Cougar Mellencamp, who fucking horrible, by the way. I hate that guy's music, but it's like folk music for dumb people who want to say they like good music, except for it's not. But anyway, then there is Bob Seager. So I was driving to a set yesterday. I was just spending a little time in traffic, and Bob came on. Could say. You could think about the girls or the girl from the night before, but you can't say woman and then stop and go or girl, because or girl means we've now slipped under 18.
Well, maybe he was driving from California to Colorado through Nevada, where the age of consent is 16.
Oh, you're right. That tour bus.
The traveling song, dude.
He probably...
She wasn't legal yesterday, but today is a new day for me.
The tour bus probably had, in the 70s, one of those dry erase boards up on the thing where they do, like, days since last accident, but age of consent... like the bus driver's like, we're now heading into Muncie, Indiana, and then somebody would have to go up and write the age of consent
down
up there, or you have to erase the California one and put it down to 14 or whatever. Because back then, everyone in the band, roadies especially, would have to know what they were entering into, right?
Isn't that amazing? There's that much variability. Like very few people talk about it. Like everybody's like, oh, this comedian's a piece of shit because he accidentally DM'd a girl who was 17 in 11 months. But you could just go to Nevada and the age of consent is 16 or for
Isn't
whatever.
there some places where if you get the parents' consent, it changes or something in America?
Probably in the South. I don't know.
So why did Bob make the distinction between woman and girl?
Yeah, because girl on its own could mean any age, but when you put it beside woman, it is a deliberate choice.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and why wouldn't woman or girl alone have covered it? Why did you need to draw a distinction? And I get it if you're rhyming girl with something, but you weren't rhyming it with anything. You just needed a little beat in there, but you could have said anything in that point. So why?
He probably had that same argument with his wife that month.
Yeah.
He's like, no, it was a creative choice I made.
Yeah.
You know what one of my favorite jokes me and my friends used to say is we used to go, man, back in the day, music used to be music. Back when it was Jimmy, Bob, and then we go, Eats World and Seager, the best.
That's funny. But it did remind me of something that we played on the show a few times that you guys will love, which is the great Deacon Jones. Deacon Jones was called the Minister of Defense. He played the defensive end for the Rams, Pro Football Hall of Fame, many all-pro seasons, and coined the term sacking the quarterback. Sure. That's his. He made that up. They didn't call it sacking the quarterback before
term.
that. But in the theme of Bob Seager stopping after he said woman and then making sure he said girl, afterward, there's a classic that I also discovered that you guys are gonna.
You're like a YouTube pedophile.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Here's him explaining his head slap move.
Was the reality Atkins' threat of breaking arms was the reality of the Deacon Jones head slap.
The head slap was to do two purposes. One was to give myself an initial head start on the pass rush. In other words, an extra step. Because anytime you go upside a man's head or a woman, then they have a tendency to blink their eyes or close their eyes, and that was all I needed.
Wow. He did what Bob Seager did. He stopped and went, I need to add more to this description.
Damn.
Even though no woman has ever played in the NFL, no one has ever played weak side tackle for any team. The NFL's been around for 110 years. There's no female has
He's just
ever
the original
started.
progressive.
Yeah, he just had to include it.
Or if you're beating a woman.
I'm honored. This is a special morning on the Adam Carolla
It
show.
really is.
Women can
is
get
why-
beat up too.
But also, we weren't asking him about his home life. We were asking him how he gets around offensive
Sure.
tackles. Why did he stop and include it?
If you're trying to be charitable to him, like if you were his lawyer, you would say, well, he's calling some of those guys woman because they're so bad at football. It's not a great defense, but that's what you'd go with, I think, if you were the lawyer.
I have a different take that you guys are too young to remember. Sorry, your chair malfunctioned a little bit there, but we can fix it. There was this whole, so you guys think all this is new, all the Million Women March and the squad and all
Oh, it was
women
the 70s was the
squawking
first time.
about everything all
This is the
time.
second wave.
This is the second wave. This started, women's lib was in full effect in the 70s. And when they got really into women's lib, there was this whole weird correction thing where you would be talking to a woman and you'd go, listen, all I care about is in my airline pilots, I just want him to be smart. I want him to be skilled. He or she, they would stop and add it all the time. And whenever you talked about, I just want my senator, I want that dude to be smart. I want that dude to be he or she, they would stop and correct you all the time. So then you had to start saying like he or she, like, Muhammad Ali's next opponent's got to be a dude who's tough or woman. Like you would stop because they would just correct you all the time. That's right in the middle of that movement where he's doing the
You think
the
that's what
correction thing.
happened?
He was trying to be progressive.
He's
Or
trying
like
to be
making like a
progressive.
joke.
No.
Progressive. He was so used to doing that, probably from like media training or whatever. Just like whenever, the CEO, he or she will be
Right.
like you have to just even it out every
Sure.
time. But when you're talking about playing football and head slapping guys,
Well, maybe we need to see it one more time. Let's see if it looks like he
Does he smirk?
corrects himself.
On the pass rush. In other words, a extra step. Because anytime you go upside a man's head or a woman, then they have a tendency to blink their eyes or close their eyes, and that was all I needed.
David Deacon Jones.
All right.
Was a
Now, the NFL Network has now since edited around that.
Of course.
That
It
is no
ran
longer
for
in the cut.
25 years, and then I found it and started screaming about it on the radio, and then they went, well, maybe we should touch that up a little bit. So you won't find it anymore. Why it made the initial cut, I
Has
have
anyone
no
asked
idea.
him? Is he alive?
Sadly, the Minister of Defense has passed. Yeah, and nobody asked him about it.
And I think with him, Wentz, you can't go defensively hands to the face on an offensive lineman anymore, can you? So
They made it, everything he did is now illegal, including what he did to his wife. And she was blocking his way in the entry hall, and he was trying to get out of the house.
Do you think
with his
he's like a
daughter.
big hero to Ray Rice? He grew up
Yes.
listening to that clip.
Yes, Ray Rice was like, I was deeply moved by Deacon Jones's head slap technique. And also in music, Chris went and found on Club Random, the Bill Maher podcast, found a clip of Boy George, who I've always, I suspected I did not like his musical taste, but this confirmed it because
you never spun Boy George when he was at his peak pop level.
like when I was at K-Rock.
Yeah.
Well, so I never spun anything because I never.
Well, even before or you just played him, like
No, I looked at that stuff as kind of cute, sort of weak sauce,
For girls.
fine. Like if you're trying to get your dick sucked, pretend you like Karma Chameleon. Like, I mean, just fake it, see if you can get some sex. But I was always like, this is kind of lightweight shit.
Right.
It was what it was. There's kind of a place for it. It's like a
shower.
It's like a Twizzler or something. It's not dessert. You know what I mean? But it's a fine. The kids fucking like it, or the chicks like it, or whatever. But
Yeah,
I
it's
never.
goofy.
And also, I was always very, and still am, which is if you've got to put up all the makeup and do all the shit, then you're probably not a musician. Like the real.
Say that to ICP's face.
Yeah, I will.
Say that to Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit, the guy who does Black Body before every show.
Yeah, I mean, Pete Townsend never sat backstage and went, "Where's the kabuki makeup?" Like he's like, "I can play a guitar."
He was downloading child porn the whole time.
Oh, there was an incident. Yeah, but that was a rape rock era. You know, we thought differently at the time. Yeah, all
the more washed up you get, the more sad the makeup gets too.
Yes.
Like
yes.
if you're, you know what I mean? If you're like, the venue's half full, you're in the middle of the nowhere, your wife's yelling at you, and you still gotta go.
Yeah.
Just put it on.
You gotta stay on top if you got a makeup act.
Alice Cooper's in that pantheon of I'm really offer anything musically, but I'll do the whole thing where I'm like,
Yes, let's
into
do
the
it,
devil, try to sell some records, and dumb people will buy it. But it's a little bit like when you see a comedian come on stage and he's dragging a trunk behind him, you're kind of like,
you better be killing it.
And I'm not saying it can't work. I'm just kind of saying, I bet you're bringing the trunk for a reason.
I saw there was a guy, I think it was like Lizard Man, and he does this act that was like they put the hooks in, and they do all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
But this is like 10 years ago, and I hosted it, and they basically had it was like a small little rock venue, 50 people there or something. And before the show started, they couldn't find their bin of hooks. So it's like, they got like 6 people traveling. They're like, who are the hooks? It's like, you had the keys. Like, okay, go check the trunk again. And they're fully tattooed, trying to track down their bag of hooks before their gig for 40 people. And you're just like, man, this stinks.
Yeah, there's a version of that. So I always looked at Boy George as sort of that version, and Paul Abdul and everything. Like, first off, if you're into music, then why aren't you doing music? Like, why aren't you, real musicians you can't keep them off the stage.
I guess they go, we're entertainers.
Yeah, they're entertainers. But like real musicians will go like, oh, I'm going to McCabe's and doing an acoustic set for 25 people on a Wednesday night, But anyway, here's Boy George, I guess, talking about two of my least favorite, I don't even want to call them musicians, but here we go.
I've never heard the phrase cover of a Yoko Ono song.
Love Yoko Ono.
Heard the music? I'm not familiar, so I'm not putting it
Love
down.
The music.
Really?
Death Samantha is, first of all, her lyrics are insane. I would say that a lot of my favorite singers, Dylan, Yoko, and that's a weird one. No one picks Yoko. Leonard Cohen, Lou Reed even. They had a kind of lazy approach to singing. It wasn't really, it wasn't necessarily, it was more about
I can't sing.
what I have to say than what I
the way you put
do.
it.
Well, hold
was
on a
perfect.
second. All right, I have a lazy approach to golf. It's that I can't play golf. That's my approach. But you can't defend me. Like, I would shoot like a 157 if we went out and golf tomorrow. So I have a lazy approach to it, but it's also I possess no skill.
Right.
Lou Reed possesses no skill. And Yoko Ono is minus skill. Like, Lou Reed just sounds like a guy who wants to be, like, if I was in the Velvet Underground and Lou was singing during rehearsal, I'd go, let's get you a thin tie and have you dance. Let's switch it into a ska format, because you clearly can't sing, because Lou can't sing. But I don't know how many times I have to bring this up. Why do we have to pretend? Why does everybody I hate have to pretend that they like Lou Reed? Is it to piss me off? Why is it? I know, by the way, I know you're going to like Lou Reed by your politics and how much I hate you. I know who likes Lou Reed in advance.
Is the Velvet Underground and Lou Reed a separate entity? Because I like the Velvet Underground. But the Lou Reedy songs where there's a singing saw and a droning violin for like 16 minutes at the end, I agree that sucks. But he wrote some good pop tunes.
What's the big one?
No.
He has the big one.
He has 2 hits.
Heroin.
He has Take a Walk on the Wild
That's what I'm
Side.
thinking of.
Right.
Do you hate that one?
No, that's fine. That's fine. Doesn't, I'm not saying
Sunday Morning.
he's incapable of doing it, but he has, you can find I Love You Diane or something.
See, I think a lot of my
my
favorite singers are like bad singers. And this is music in general. I don't put like the same reverence on music because I feel like music isn't about being the best in a lot of ways. If you think about like, if you're, even sports or business, anything. You look at the top guy and you go, that might be one of the top 100 guys in the world. If you look at the guitar player and probably the top band, you go, that guy might not be in the top 10,000 in most bands.
Absolutely.
So I always sort of think of famous people
in the top 200s.
He's in the top of every hipster's list. They just have to say, I like Lou
for
Reed.
relevance.
Do you think, with music, it's kind of interesting. Do you think that was the precursor for this now, like, you're just fine as you are, living on the streets, in a tent, in your own vomit? Because it used to be, like, musical criticism, they all hated progressive. Oh, these great musicians, like Pink Floyd or whoever, they suck, but punk had so much cred in the critical circles.
Yes.
Like, if Sid Vicious has to have somebody else plug in a bass and play backstage for him, and he's throwing up all over his unplugged bass guitar, he's a genius.
Oh,
but
listen,
David Gilmour sucks, and nobody respects
I
him.
I agree 1,000%. Those guys would do what Pink Floyd does if they could, but they can't because they don't have the talent. And the Sex Pistols and all, they fucking suck. I mean, they all have to pretend. It's like the same people who worship at the altar of Lou Reed also would tell you how much they love the Sex Pistols because you can't say they suck, but they clearly suck. All right, do you have I Love
two
You?
Lou Reed songs.
Suzanne?
One is called I
Yeah,
Love
but when
You, and
you
then
look-
one is called I Love You, Suzanne.
That's the song. All right.
When you look back on things that suck, a lot of times you're forgetting that they were a reaction to the thing before, right?
Yes,
like
that's true.
so many times things just get so serious and so intricate, and it's the music gets who can play the fastest in this, and then eventually you're just a guy being like, you know what? I'll just do none of that and we'll suck and play a lazy version, and that's like appealing because you're so sick of the thing before.
Sure.
It always goes so hard, then emo comes next.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I've always had that theory. All right, here's a Lou Reed in his second hit. Fucking, I was going to say suck my dick, but
He would.
don't suck my dick.
Yeah, you've changed
Boy,
my mind.
George.
You've
Yeah.
opened my eyes to the shittiness of
Just
Lou Reed.
play the first 20 seconds one more time. Let's all just listen to it.
Eat some vagina
I was
books.
driving around LA in my pickup truck. I was 22, and I was like, "What are we doing? What are we doing?" It's Lou Reed. That's what we're doing. I'm like, "Yeah, but this song's a piece of shit." And by the way, the lyrics are fucking horrible.
That's just so funny. You driving to like a construction gig, just like fucking
Angry, screaming.
This guy's a millionaire off this dribble.
Oh my god!
He was an asshole too.
All right. Okay, we're looking at the lyrics. I want a challenge. I have a challenge for you guys now. And then I have a challenge. Because another song, the other song I heard after Turn the Page was oh god. I'll think of it in a second. All right, I'll tell you what. Look at these lyrics. I'll do anything once. I'll try anything twice. You do what you gotta do, but I love you, Suzanne. Do you want to do what you can do and you want to do, but I need to do it first. That was a fucking dance. You said I couldn't dance, but I really could make romance. What the fuck? This guy's a fucking kid.
Dance and
There's only
romance.
3 words.
Dance and romance are as bad as girl and world. When you put girl and world into a song, you've lost me.
Yes.
I feel like I'll take the other side of this a little bit because I do get the idea of bands that it's just like so shitty because they don't, and they're like, there is just this I don't give a shit attitude of like,
all right.
I'm not trying to be Leonard Cohen.
Yeah, all right. I love
You
you.
go listen to your
Scroll up.
fancy
I love
pants
you
lyrics.
when you're good. Baby, I love you when you're bad. It's like singing. I'm going to sing Heads or Tails just over and over again. Just this and then that. I like it when it's cold. I like it when it's hot.
I like you when you're skinny. I like you when you're fat.
I love a double cheeseburger and an impossible burger. That's all he's doing. That's all this is.
It's no rolling, but
He was so
All right,
junked out at this point in his career.
Okay, but let's not support it. That's what I'm saying. Boy George, he's dead. You were an idiot to like him at all. It's 2023. Shut up. We're done. Done with Lou fucking Reed. Jesus Christ. All right, I got maybe worse in the lyrics department.
Let's go.
All right, we have to take a break, but I may have worse. I mean, we're gonna have to. This is gonna be a battle of the shit bands in the lyrics department.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Be right back after this. BetterHelp. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Well, the time of year where, well, it can be a lot. It can be a little overwhelming as we head into the holidays. Lots of memories bubbling up to the surface, and lots of stress. Maybe some family members you got a little history with coming into town. You want to be able to deal with it. You want to deal with the stress. Therapy can help you feel grounded and give you the tools to manage everything that's going on. And there's a lot these days, micro and macro. I've always been a fan of therapy. I just believe that when you get your head right, the body will follow, and that affects every facet of your life. So you may want to start thinking about therapy. Why don't you give BetterHelp a try? It's entirely online, convenient, and it's flexible. Just fill out a brief questionnaire. You'll get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. It's BetterHelp. Right, Dawson?
Find your bright spot this season with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Carolla today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Carolla.
Blinds galore. Black Friday and Cyber Monday right around the corner. So check out blindsgalore.com. Do it today so you'll be ready when these huge sales start. They start November 21st. Give any room an incredible makeover with custom blinds, motorized shades, shutters, even drapery. Family-owned and run company. Over 25 years in business, and you can do it all without leaving your house. Just take the measurements, and then you can customize it online. See exactly how your blinds or shades will look on screen before you buy. And you can order up to 15 free samples, so you get the color just right. I've used these guys in my house. I just put the stuff up in my condo. I went with the electronic shades. It comes with a remote, or you can do it with your phone. It's perfect. Battery lasts. Save a ton compared to big box stores on custom products made just for your window. It's blinds galore, right, Dawson?
BlindsGalore.com makes it easy to get the custom designer blinds and shades you've always wanted in your home. Order your free samples so you're ready for their huge Black Friday sale on November 21st when everything will be 50% off. Visit BlindsGalore.com today and let them know that Adam sent you. That's BlindsGalore.com. It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Ace Man, Adam from Milwaukee, Wisconsin here. I was just listening to the Bill Maher Club Random podcast, and he had Boy George on, and he said his favorite artist was Yoko Ono, and then followed up by Lou Reed. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
I have a new theory. Ryan Long, Danny Mullen in studio. My new theory with everyone, which is like, you can't possibly like Yoko Ono. You just can't. You can't. And then people are always like, what are these people out in the streets? They're pro-Palestine, they're pro-Hamas, they're ripping down pictures of missing kids that have been abducted by Hamas. And like, what are they doing? And I'm like, first off, how did they all get on the same page? Like, how are all the same people that are pro-Hamas also love Yoko Ono? It's all the same group. It's the same group. They all fucking love Lou Reed, and they stand with the Hamas. And I just thought, here's what they do. Here's how you can tell. Because it seems like, how can you be on every single subject you're just on the wrong side of? And I realized it's not a coincidence. It's not like, well, I love Hamas and I love Lou Reed. You don't know anything about either one of them, and they're fucking. I would argue that Lou Reed has probably caused more damage, at least to me, than Hamas. To me, that's to me.
That's your terrorism.
I'm not trying to be insensitive.
Terrorism
To me. I've not encountered Hamas, but Lou Reed I've encountered, and his minions who support him. Okay. My new thing is, you are just doing, who are these people? What are they doing? Like, what is motivating them? And I just keep saying that when they are just doing whatever would piss off John Wayne the most. If he found out, if we reanimated him and he heard about this, he would be angry. He'd be the most angry. And that's all this. It's just rebellion. They don't even think for themselves. It's not like they like Lou Reed. It's not like they like Palestine. They don't even know anything about anything. It's just pure rebellion. That's all it is.
And conformity to the rebellion.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't have free will. You just do like Trump says build a wall, and you go no wall.
Sure.
And then Trump says ivermectin may work, and you go ivermectin's horse face doesn't work. Like you just do you think you have free will, you don't. You just do the opposite of whatever a normal person would say. So a normal person says Yoko Ono sucks, and then you go I love you, Yoko Ono.
Yeah,
you're just
hey, I got a bit of that in me.
You're like punk rock. That's what punk rock is. That's what we're talking about.
Elon Musk tweets that he's voting Republican now. I hate everything he does, including EVs that are saving the environment I allegedly love.
Right. That's it. I'll just do the opposite of whoever I think is going to vote different than me.
What a normal person. Everything that's, would be normal is terrible, yeah.
All right.
I have a solution, by the way, that I thought of last night when I was sleeping for... Okay, this is what Israel needs to do. So... None of the other things have worked, right? So basically what they should do is kind of like where the Iron Dome is and on the borders, put up basically a huge canvas, and every time there's a rocket fired, they draw a little bit more of Muhammad.
That's good, yeah.
So they basically say, you're doing this, right? And then they go every time, and they go, his leg's there. And then, okay, shot again. Oh, his arm's there now. It's like, so that you actually are the one drawing Muhammad.
You're taking out Muhammad. That's good.
And then once he's drawn, which they don't want him drawn, and then, so I guess they could do their...
It's like Hangman. It's Muhammad Hangman.
And you're doing it, so they kind of said, you're not supposed to draw Muhammad. I go, I guess stop shooting because this is rigged up, and they've removed themselves from it. It's a system that every time a missile comes, it like automatically just draws a little bit more of Muhammad.
Genius.
That would solve it. You're right. Most of the ideas that come in the night are not great when you wake up. Yeah. This one, even better.
And they're using the human shields. They need something that Jewish people wouldn't want to hit, like if they were going to do the same thing. So they have like maybe the... This is getting bad.
Here we go.
Every Hamas soldier has like an envelope with first and last month's rent.
Okay.
Now you've crossed even my line, and I don't even have a line. I know Hamas is great. It's like we put our headquarters under a hospital, but that's not because we're doing human shields. And it's like seems like a lot of work to put your headquarters under a commercial building.
Yeah.
But okay. Anyway, we have now I Love You, Suzanne. I mean, maybe you don't think lyrics could get worse than a hit song, but I'm gonna offer up Steve Miller's Abracadabra. All right. You know what I was thinking about when I was driving in to see Byron Allen on his
soundtrack to a Quentin Tarantino movie?
I think this song's from 1982.
No, he's older. I'm just saying that.
Oh, no. It's just... Okay.
Yeah, 82.
All right. Also, the year Maneater came out. Also, the year I graduated high school. I was like, I have the worst graduating music class of any fucking year. I mean, people graduated in 67, 68. They had the Beatles and Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix. And I got
80s was a
this
brutal
fucking
era.
shit.
Yeah.
But also, as I was sitting in my car, I think all the time, like, I listened to the Pretenders in the 80s. I listened to Joe Jackson in the 80s. I listened to Elvis Costello in the 80s. Can the Sirius XM team summon up the power to play a good song from the 80s? Why is this the 80s? Then it goes right from here to Flock of Seagulls,
Sure.
It's like, yes, there was other music in the 80s. Can you represent it on your Sirius XM station? Ugh.
Do you know what's crazy that I heard on...
All right, well, whose lyrics are worse? Whose lyrics are worse? I Love You,
I have
Suzanne.
an answer, but you're going to love this. Billboard for Abracadabra, when it was released, they said the song, quote, mixes sly lyric, soulful vocal, and Miller's guitar wizardry.
Did anyone hear any of the above?
Yeah.
Was that anyone hear any of that? Guitar wizardry?
Yeah, sly lyrics, soulful vocal, and guitar wizardry.
Well, when I used to either front sell or back sell them on rock radio, it would always be, I'd never say the Steve Miller Band. It was always Stevie Guitar Miller, because that was what he was known for. He was a guitarist, and that's not guitar.
Now, you know what else I was thinking about is how the 80s ruined a lot of guys when the synth and the symphonic drums. So what you just heard there is like big old jet airliner, and then 7 years later he's doing this shit. And I was thinking about it, and it bit even bands you love came out with synthy, bad 80s, I mean.
Like Rush had a keyboard.
Oh, God, the worst.
Geddy from Rush just went keyboard. He just gave up the bass for like 5 years, didn't he?
Rod Stewart, who had a bunch of good stuff in the 70s, just turned into shit 80s music. Like everyone just did coke and got a
turned
synth.
Into Christmas albums.
Yeah. It's just, but I was thinking to myself, but it's the same artist, you know what I mean, who should be more sonically evolved. Like when Rod Stewart started off, he was 19 or something. When I didn't have much of a developed sense of humor when I was like 19 or whatever. But so here's what I was thinking about. Every comedian looks back at their old material and winces, right? They go, oh, man, what was
Definitely
I thinking?
in the first 10 years.
Yeah, first 10 years, right? Like women look back at pictures of themselves from New Jersey in the 80s, like, oh, my hair. Oh, God, what was I thinking about with the eyeshadow and everything? Fine.
I was 100 pounds less. Gross.
But imagine you're fucking Steve Miller, Rod Stewart, or any of these people, and the shit you did a decade ago was far superior than the shit that you're shitting out now.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And then also, why didn't they know? You know what I mean? Like, okay, trends changed and times changed, and people, sonically thought of music differently. But what you're doing in the mid '80s is palpably worse than what you were doing 10 years ago. Like, there's no argument. You were there. You played the guitar licks. You wrote the songs. You were on stage. Now you're on stage doing abracadabra? Like, it'd be like me doing fat girlfriend jokes 10 years from now and then going, no, this is good. Like, this is what people want. But you have ears. Like, why couldn't he hear what this was? What happened to everyone? That's what I'm saying. It's like, I was around in 1982 listening to this going, oh my God, this sucks. Why didn't Steve Miller know it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think that every artist you get,
or
after your moment's sort of over,
Hall & Oates, Sarah Smile and Rich Girl, all that stuff, and then right into fucking Maneater. Like, don't you guys know you're doing shit?
This is my theory.
I want to hear it.
After like an artist's like original moment was done, where you were like the part of culture, right? You have two options. You either kind of go be the band that like plays their hits forever and no one ever cares what you do, or you try to conform to what it is now. The third option is you try to create your own path, and that one's way harder. And when you're doing a lot of drugs and you're lazy now and you don't have the same drive that you used to, you end up doing only one of those two things. Because I think the third option of staying relevant and good is the hardest one.
Yeah.
So those guys all just like, okay, what are they doing now? Okay, well, it's people, we'll write songs with the new hit guys. What are the kids liking now? Oh, that synthy stuff. That's how you stay on the radio. That's it. Yeah, it's all just we're still on the radio.
It's demonstrably worse, though.
Much worse.
When you can listen to Rich Girl by Hall & Oates, and then you can listen to Maneater, and you go, well, one's a piece of shit, and the other's kind of a classic. So, but the same people were there.
Yeah.
How did they talk themselves into it? That's what I'm saying. Like,
heroin.
Or maybe we're all doing it and we don't know it.
I think it's because in the moment you don't realize it, right? If everybody's telling you it's awesome in the moment, you think it's awesome.
Another hit.
Yeah.
But when you listen to Rich Girl or Sarah Smile, and then you listen to I Can't Go For That. No can do. I can't. It's like, it's shit compared to the other thing. Like, is there a world where you think your fat girlfriend joke is better than the shit you're doing now? That's all I'm saying. Creatively. Is there a sculptor's version of this? Is there a painter's version of this? Like, is there a poet's version of this? Is there any version of this where your current stuff sucks?
Right. I mean,
and you did good work.
Seinfeld's not going to make another better show.
No, but he's not trying either.
Could you give
the
me
judge one?
Can you give me an example of a fat girlfriend joke? Because I think I got a couple fat chick jokes in my act right now. I just want to make sure I'm not doing hacky
your shit's
stuff.
much more evolved.
Oh, yeah. Your fat girlfriend jokes are incredible. No, we weren't talking about your fat girlfriend joke.
When you come up with a fat girlfriend joke, you're pumped on it, and you get some laughs. You're stoked on it now, but then looking back 10 years later, that's when you cringe.
Right,
so I think
but
you're more
this
upset
is
that Steve Miller's looking back and thinking, yeah, abracadabra still slaps. Like,
do you think they're proud of it? I mean, they have to play it in every concert.
See, that's the thing. He has to resign himself to it. Even whatever he thinks, he has to pretend he likes it, and he has to play it.
I want to cleanse my palate with a little Pretender's Mystery Achievement because I told my son. My son's a good boy. He said to me, give me 10 albums I should listen to, and I just laid out 10 albums you should listen to. They have a song that's like 500 miles. They got a lot of hits. The point is, why can't we hear some of this? Why do I have to fucking hear Abracadabra ever again? Anyway, my palate.
There's a lot of bands in Long Beach sounding like that.
You asked us which one we preferred, Abracadabra or Lou Reed's song. Lou Reed's song was way shittier than Abracadabra.
Yeah. Lyrically, I'm asking.
I think both Lou Reed's song sucks. Abracadabra was at least interesting. I mean, at least it completely leans into that shitty synth sound.
All right. Well, I don't know. Let's remove, since we're just trying to go lyric for lyric here. Let's have Dawson read the first stanza or two of Abracadabra, and then I Love You, Suzanne, and let's see. Now we're going to remove the music.
Read it straight.
Just read it straight.
Here is Abracadabra. I heat up. I can't cool down. You got me spinning round and round. Round and round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Here's I
Keep
Love
going.
You.
Keep going. Sorry.
Every time you call my name, I heat up like a burning flame full of desire. Kiss me, baby, let the fire get higher. Abracadabra. I want to reach out and grab you.
Okay, all right.
Sounds like a ludicrous
maybe it doesn't get worse. Like maybe if I found a 9-year-old with Tourette's and I agitated him and forced him to write a song, I don't think it could be worse than this. But let's hear I Love You, Suzanne. Let's see. This experiment.
You broke my heart and you made me cry. You said that I couldn't dance. But now I'm back to let you know that I can really make romance. You do what you gotta do. You do everything you can. You do what you gotta do. Hey, but I love you, Suzanne. You do anything once. You try anything twice. You do what you gotta do. Hey, but I love you, Suzanne. Hey.
I don't know.
That one's way worse.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That if these were love letters, that second one was written by like a 3-year-old.
Yeah, Lou Reed didn't care.
Lou Reed didn't care. No, he's got Boy George doing his bidding. What's he fucking care for? All right, I'll fucking
doing his bidding.
Polishing his urn. Jesus fucking Christ. Can we just drop Lou Reed in the pantheon of fucking people, dumb people, pseudo-intellect, people. It's a cool person thing. He's a hack.
Definitely a pseudo-intellectual thing. But.
Jesus Christ.
Boy George could have said anybody.
Yeah. I also heard a story. All right. Wait a minute.
You got to hear New Country right now. That's the craziest, where it's like all those guys got forced to basically make like straight up like pop songs, like 14-year-old girls.
Yeah.
But the lyrics are trying to be, and it's a guy that like was a country guy, and now it'll be like, woke up in my truck today with some Jim Beam on my face. And it's like, but he's got like a bit of a twang.
Yeah.
Dude, if you like in the Ubers,
like
it's crazy, dude. And you're like, that guy's either like a fake cowboy where he's just like putting on a hat and grew up in Los Angeles, or it's a guy that like probably wants to kill himself.
And they're auto-tuned.
Dude, it's wild to hear what they've done to country.
I hate it all. There's a song that I may hate worse than Abracadabra.
Oh my.
Fuck the World by ICP. That's a jam.
And maybe I don't know. I Love You, Suzanne. I don't think I could hate a song more, but maybe. And the reason I'm super angry at the song is it was number one. David Essex is who came up with it, but it was remade.
I got a lot of thoughts on that.
The remaking by Michael Damian had a hit with it like 15 years later, and Def Leppard remade
no
this
reason
song.
for the song to
The drummer
exist.
from Def Leppard only has
And the
one
fact
arm.
that someone
The drummer
else
from Def
did
Leppard
it
only has one arm.
Almost
Bloodhound
exactly
Gang, that's a
the
jam.
same way.
This
is awful.
This song gets played during the 70s stuff on Sirius XM.
I used
This
to
sounds
have
like a
to play
soundtrack.
this.
You used to have to play it?
This sounds like a soundtrack. Like you can picture the guy walking into the house. He's looking for the money, bag of cash.
Maybe he's in his pickup truck covered with Jim Beam.
yeah.
I was listening to Randy Bachman, one of the guys from Bachman Turner Overdrive, Canadian band.
Yeah, of course.
And their biggest hit was Taking Care of Business. Taking Care of Business. Everyone remembers the song. And he was kind of breaking down how he wrote the song, and it was supposed to be a white collar sort of thing. But anyway, it was an interesting song. But the thing I didn't know, which was totally interesting to me, is, by the way, Elvis took on the Taking Care of Business thing with the TCB thing, lightning bolt that he had his crew, Memphis Mafia wore. Elvis took on Taking Care of Business from listening to that song as sort of his mantra. But that song's got a great keyboard, a great piano in it. And the story goes is Bachman Turner Overdrive was recording Taking Care of Business, and so was like Santana was doing their own thing up the hall, and War was doing their thing up the hall too. They're all recording stuff. Don't get me started on fucking War. I may hate them more. I may hate them more than Steve Miller. I might. But there's a pizza delivery, and the pizza delivery guy went to the wrong studio, and so then Bachman Turner Overdrive told them those aren't our pizzas, and they went and like dropped them off at the War studio. But the guy was a great pianist who was also delivering pizza, like a struggling musician, and he just came in and was like, you need some keyboard in this, and maybe I can lay it down.
Real Hollywood story.
That's the story, and if you hear that song in your head, you will hear the piano. And so they were, according to Randy Bachman, like they'd been there for like 14 hours already, and they're like, go lay down some shit, knock yourself out, and we're going home. And he did. And then the record exec like came in when they put it together like the next day and was like, this is fucking awesome. And they couldn't find the guy, and they didn't know his name, and they didn't know how to credit him, and they didn't know anything, and they had to like call local pizza places and talk to the guys from War who were too stoned to remember where they ordered the pizza and all that. But that was the story.
That's like 100,000 pizza guys in Los Angeles probably get a delivery to a record studio. They go, this is it.
Right. All right. Do we have the end of the Velvet Underground? John Popper can do something. He can sing and he can play. And I know that he hates these guys too, because it's all the people that write for Rolling Stone who don't do anything and don't possess any skills who like.
For you, is Velvet Underground a little bit become, and their fans are so annoying that it made you hate them more?
Velvet Underground is basically the Radiohead of their time, which is all the dumb people just go, I love Radiohead. They don't know anything about Radiohead. You don't listen to Radiohead. You just say you like Radiohead. So people think you're cool.
Sure.
Like if you're at a party and somebody said, what don't you like? And if I was at a party, or if any of you were at a party, like a cool Hollywood party, and you're like, I hate the Velvet Underground, I hate Lou Reed, I hate Radiohead, and I hate sushi. They'd go, you got to leave now. They'd look at you as a dullard, right? Like the word would spread around the party. That guy hates the Velvet Underground and sushi.
I like Born in the USA, and that's it.
Right. And I like stew. That would be, you'd be out of the party. You would be asked to leave the party.
You don't belong here.
You don't belong here. So these guys don't. Now, no one in the party possesses skills, so they don't want to have to be shown the door because they can't throw their own party. So that's what it's about.
Yeah. You got to go in the party saying, okay, computer, change my life.
That's right. That's what you have to do. And then Boy George doesn't possess talent, per se.
Radiohead really did, because they were just like a normal band, and they sort of weaseled their way into being this like eclectic thing. Because they released a bunch of bad albums, but like the first album, it was just like a normal '90s alternative album.
I'm not even saying Radiohead is bad or good. I'm just saying the people who say they love Radiohead don't know anything about Radiohead, don't listen to Radiohead. Okay. They're just saying it. It's like I've gotten this argument a million times. Like, okay, you love Lou Reed. Yes. Okay. Produce a Lou Reed song that is good, and then I'll go, oh, well, it's not about, like, well, you do? Like, you don't. You don't. What I'm saying is, like, I like John Hyde, or I like the Pretenders, or I like Elvis Costello. If you said, could you produce a song? I'd be like, well, I'm going to really fucking narrow it down because I like 35 of his songs.
Yeah.
And they're good songs. Everyone will like them. But I wouldn't ever be like, oh, that's a false flag. You can't argue that way or whatever. They can't do it.
Yeah, if you explaining why you like something starts with well, comma,
right,
you're in dangerous territory right there.
I feel like that a little bit with the show Community, that people are lying when they say it's their favorite show.
Oh, Community.
Yeah. It's got some funny stuff in it, but it's very like, look how clever we are.
Yeah, I feel like exactly.
Yeah, which is annoying.
I feel like they like to say that more than it's actually true.
Yeah, well, Joel McHale's a dear friend. But
Joel's awesome. I like Joel.
I agree. I agree. There's certain things. Well, it's like you can't say anything about Friends or bad. You know, it's like there's certain.
Especially now.
There's certain. You want to get to that. You want to send to Community, Velvet Underground, Lou Reed, Radiohead, and Michelle Obama. Like nobody, just don't want to go, that bitch?
Yeah.
This chick's fucking dumb. No, she knows what the fuck she's talking about. Like, what if you're at a party? You're like, I don't like Michelle Obama, I don't like sushi, and I don't like Radiohead. You would never last. You'd just be pushed right out the door.
Yeah.
So the people understand who they have to like and who they... Now, they could say, I love Michelle Obama, and you'd go, good, tell me one thing she said that you agree with and you think is clever and interesting and would move people. They go like, I don't have anything. That's how it would work. All right.
Chappelle was that for comedy probably before the last 3 years.
Yes. Good point. All right.
Like you don't speak the Lord's name in vain sort of
Next, Hollywood party. Talk about how much you hate Chappelle.
Now they probably be on board with that.
Yeah. Well, boy, George would. All right. We'll take a break. We got some news. We'll get into that right after this.
You're about to hear a preview of the Jordan Harbinger Show with Bill Browder, who uncovered a massive fraud inside the Russian government and took on one of the most powerful men in the world, Vladimir Putin.
While I was sitting there down 90%, they were going to steal my last 10 cents on the dollar. So I took a decision which nobody had ever taken before, which was to take on one of the oligarchs. I did. I fought back big time. Sergey and I exposed the crime. The same people who Sergey testified against arrested him and then tortured him to try to get him to withdraw his testimony. He was really a man of steel. On the morning of November 17th at 7:45 a.m., I got the call from Sergey's lawyer, and it was the most horrifying, life-changing, soul-destroying news that I could have ever gotten.
For more on how Bill Browder continues to fight for change while being a thorn in the side of Vladimir Putin, check out episode 3, which is one of the most popular episodes of The Jordan Harbinger Show.
Morgan and Morgan. Let me lay a stat on you. People 15 to 24 had the highest rate of emergency room visits due to car accidents of all the age groups. Oh, man, my kids are in that age group. Now I'm worried, but thank God there's Morgan and Morgan. If you're ever injured, you can check them out. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, over 100 offices nationwide, more than 800 lawyers, more than $15 billion recovered for 300,000 plus clients. Morgan & Morgan has proven that they have a track record, and they will fight to get you the full and fair compensation. They've been fighting for people for over 35 years. Racing my vintage cars is hard, but submitting a claim for Morgan & Morgan is easy. Am I right, Dawson?
If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/Adam or dial #LAW, #529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/Adam or #LAW, #529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement. In honor of Jim Carolla's 92nd birthday, here's a list of all the things Adam Carolla will do before he dies. Say that somebody committed suicide over him, as in she threw herself on the train tracks. Just one of the things Adam will do before he dies. Let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
All right. We got some news, some events, things that are trending.
Yeah.
Ryan and Danny are hanging out. We're having a good time.
I just got to add real quick, have you crossed off on your bucket list diving into a body of water with a knife in your teeth?
That's on there. That's still on there.
I'll always remember that Adam Carolla wanted to do that.
I wanted to do it. Well, I grew up watching guys do that. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. Communicating underwater with another SEAL team guy, like to the eyes, and like that, like that move.
You get the guy that cleans your pool and like go and give him some instructions when he's fixing this.
Yeah, I'll get Rob to do that. All right, sorry. The BTO pizza guy is named Norman Durkee, by the way.
They found him.
Then he went on to be, I think, Bette Midler's music.
Yeah, I mean, I heard there are different versions of this story too.
Yes,
like I heard
I'm
that
sure.
one, and then the other one is he actually was a musician at the studio, and he wrote down the chords on a pizza box.
Oh,
and so I mean, they're different.
Well, Randy Bachman
Hollywood fables.
says he was the pizza guy. Either way, it's a good story.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So since Ryan and Danny are here, and they're no stranger to viral videos, I thought we could watch a few videos here that have been kind of circulating on the internet. So first off, this was at a Senate Health, Education, and Labor Committee, and GOP Senator Mark Wayne Mullen of Oklahoma got into it with Teamsters Union President Sean O'Brien. So the exchange occurred when Mullen was recalling an interaction that he had with O'Brien in June on Twitter, where he's reading some old tweets, and this is what happened.
Like he's self-made.
All right, let's pause it for a second.
I think I know where you're going with this.
I'm saying, Dean Martin had the gold diggers. It's always nice to have a pretty woman flanking you. There's some women behind him that not only are aesthetically a little bit tough, but look like someone put a plate of shit under their nose. Like if I'm delivering my speech to Congress, I'm going to get a couple of hotties and just tell them to sort of show a little cleavage, sit back there and put a smile on your face and do a little head nodding every once in a while. Not just sit back there and go, oh, God.
And that's what
this
Trump
fucking
does at the
guy
rallies.
again. Yeah, Trump gets a couple of hot chicks, puts them front and center, flanks himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you know
what this is? Like every time one of those black race hustlers or Benjamin Crunk or something, like when the black attorney who specializes in the cases where the cop, shot the black guy, he gets up on stage and he's talking about the plight of the man and he was taken to, and the guys behind him are like nodding their head. They're going, oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you didn't. What if they were just going, oh, fuck this? Like you go, I don't believe him. You know what I mean? The blacks do that better than anybody. They get a whole posse behind them. And they just go preach, and they just nod, and you
need a squad.
You need a squad. Well, who are these two?
I think the one on the right looks like she could clean up Los Angeles, Adam. She could solve the homeless problem.
There's two very dour women just sitting behind Senator Mullen.
And you know they have three names, and you know they have a lot of progressive ideas.
I would be like, when I'm talking, paint a smile on and do a little head nod. But all right, here we go.
Right. I just love it.
Oh, and I should mention that Bernie Sanders is the one.
Well, he breaks it up, dude.
He's the one heading this entire thing.
Bernie Sanders holds him back.
Yeah, here we go.
Like he's self-made. Sir, I wish he was in the truck with me when I was building my plumbing company. Myself and my wife was running the office because I sure remember working pretty hard and long
Chicks
hours.
ain't helping.
Pretends like he's self-made. What a clown. Fraud. Always has been, always will be. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place.
Oh.
If you want to run your mouth, we can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your solution?
Hold it. No, sit down.
I think he's gonna take his wedding
You know,
ring
you're a
off.
United States Senator. Sit down.
Okay.
Sit down, please.
Can I respond? Mr.
Hold it. If we can, no, I have the mic. I'm sorry.
This is
hold
what
it.
he said.
You'll have your time.
Okay.
Can I respond?
Oh, no, you can't. This is a hearing.
You know, gavels, the problem with the gavel, I like a gavel.
Me too.
I don't know what I like more, mortar and pestle or gavel.
The gavel's incredible.
Yeah, but you can't muddle. No, what is it? What do you do with a mortar and pestle? You take You guys know what a mortar and pestle is?
No, I don't know what that
makes
It's muddle. I think you muddle, right?
You muddle.
Yeah.
You do like,
It's that bowl with a little
It's good for making cocktails.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I wish I had a job where I needed to use either one of them. But the Gavels, it's good, but normal hammers have a hammer side and then they have the claw side on the back. The gavel should have that.
You don't like the two-way.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like bisexual. Like, well, what side of the gavel do you want to use? I don't know. What kind of mood am I in today? Like, it should just be the gavel side and then the fucking nail pulling side, the claw side.
Yeah, the gavel is double-headed.
Or the other side should be like a bottle opener or something. Like, it should have some
function,
utility to it. Because and then it's unclear what direction the gavel goes.
Yeah.
No one says like this side down or there's an arrow or anything.
Well, there's girl judges now, so they don't want them screwing it up.
Yeah, you're right. They would get confused with the gavel. Yeah, you're right.
My dad's a judge. When I would go to his
Dad's a
courtroom.
judge?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a little kid, I'd go to his courtroom. I'd be like, why don't you have a gavel? Like, I pictured a white wig and a gavel.
Yeah, where's his gavel?
He says it's arrogant.
Gavel.
He says it's like a dick move. It's like saying you like Lou Reed in the courthouse to have a gavel.
How are you going to yell order?
You got to do it orally.
You just go a cappella with the
go
order?
hockey.
I wouldn't listen to someone yelling order. I'd be putting in an order. Like, I'd be like,
I think
all right,
this
I'll
is
get the chicken parm.
This feels like propaganda your dad's telling him because he had a bad experience with a gavel once and he doesn't use them anymore.
Maybe he came down
Only
on
hacks use those.
Oh, yeah, like maybe the bailiff violated him with a gavel or something.
Perhaps.
Single tier.
Old Jim. You're saying it's a prop. It's a Carrot Top style thing to have a gavel.
Gavel's incredible. It's the reason you become a judge.
I thought so, too.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, if they said no gavel, I wouldn't be a judge.
It's the whole game, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm only in it for the gavel.
Bernie Sanders laying down the law, though.
That's right. All right. And then what happens?
They used to fight like crazy. And you ever seen other countries' courts?
I
They
love
break
it.
into the brawls.
I love it.
Oh, they're incredible.
A
People
famous
put 'em to
Japanese
music.
one.
What would your dad do if he was like up there on the bench and he wanted walnuts, but they're in a shell and he couldn't get to them? You know what I mean? Then I bet he fucking wishes he had a gavel.
I'm sure, yeah.
We'll never know.
Well, bring that up. Is he around? Is he still alive?
He's alive, yeah.
Well, bring that up to him.
He's semi-retired. He works from Zoom now, which is a good place to try out the gavel.
Oh, yeah. You probably use a gavel app now?
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
Pressing a button over and over again?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you tell your dad I think he should get a gavel.
I've been telling him that for years, so
Okay.
I'll say Adam Carolla agrees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
well-
tell him there's a controversy that's swirling around his lack of gavel. We don't believe it. He's
Suspicious, that's all I'll
He's not
say.
so magnanimous that he won't use a gavel. We think there's a situation, there's a history. We'll call it Gavelgate.
It's almost as if like all of his sentences he's handed down are like worthy to be appealed now because he didn't seal them with a gavel.
That's right. You have to punctuate it with a gavel.
Life.
Has your dad handed out live?
He hasn't handed out a life. I used to always ask him that.
Yeah.
It bummed me out that he hadn't given somebody life. Oh, wait, excuse me. No, he has given life. He hasn't given the death penalty.
No death.
No death. He's given life, no death.
So he's like an LA criminal. Or wait,
Sacramento criminal. He's given many life. I don't know why I said that. I was thinking about death. He's never handed down a Scott Peterson death penalty style thing. Which...
Was he pumped about it, or would he come home like, would it stress him out?
You should have said, sorry, go ahead.
I had nothing to say.
I was going to say, you should say to like all your friends, like when you're in high school, they like would call my dad the hangman. And they'd go, well, he never gave out the death penalty. And they'd be like, no, he has a huge cock.
Yeah.
Huge.
You know?
That's nothing to do with him being a judge.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
was
yeah, I
called the
forgot he's a
hangman
judge.
in
Calls
junior
his
high.
dick the gavel.
And you know it's fucked up. I've seen my dad's cock once, and it completely conforms to the Adam Carolla theory of how you should show how a father should show his penis to his son.
yeah.
Hard.
He came in with a raging hard on when I was 4 years. No, we took all I remember about my dad's cock was one shower when I was 4, and I remember it being giant.
Yeah.
Because when you're 4, your penis is the size of a fucking chickpea. And so anything above 3 inches hard is gigantic. And that's all I remember.
Ryan, just for those, the uninitiated, I always said, it started to dawn on me. Like it dawned on me in high school. Like I'd sit around with my friends and they'd all go, my dad has a huge cock. And I got nothing. What the fuck?
They said it in that tone of voice,
You
too.
know, huge.
What's your dad working with, brother?
And he's working. He's fucking hung like a black rhino. And I got nothing. And I started hearing this from every friend, you know? And then I started thinking about it, like, well, it can't just all be that your fucking dad has this huge hog and you don't, because, like, nobody ever said, like, my dad has magnificent calves and I have nothing. It'd be like, no, then you got nice calves too, usually, or big schnoz. You'd have a big schnoz. Like, there's... So in high school, I started thinking about it. I was like, how is it that all these guys have small... How can... First off, and how can it be that all of their dads have a huge dick? That's mathematically impossible, unless that's the reason we're together.
Me and my friends didn't talk about our dad's dicks as much.
What? You're so gay.
Yeah.
That's so gay.
You really gotta get into it, man.
Fucking scoff.
We talked about our mom's dicks.
But so then I started going, all right, now this is not it. And then I started going, tell me about your dad's dick. Like, when did you see it? And no one ever went, Tuesday? They always go, when I was 6, I walked into the bathroom and my dad was drying his hair and he turned around and the thing almost knocked me over. You know? And I was like, oh, because you were dick height.
Right.
You were dick height and you had nothing.
Almost got
and it was huge compared to what you had, and then you never saw it again.
Yeah.
So now it's seared in your memory. And by the way, you're talking up your dad's dick, and this is good news for your dad,
Yes.
you know? So I always said, look, I didn't want to make a big deal about it. Like, you shouldn't get a raging hard-on and show it to your 5-year-old. That's weird. That's weird. But I said, well, you do want to get a little blood going. And I suggested just a little glycerin, just something that would catch the light. Just a little bit. So wink, you know, like when bodybuilders put a little baby oil
He's gonna
on.
be telling everyone all around town about it.
And get it fluffed up. What I call the leather phase. Not a full boner, but just a little something going, a little bit of glycerin. Take that hot shower, step out, get the
Sun,
glycerin
come in
going.
your hands behind your head.
No, again, I'm not
creepy,
a weirdo.
Ryan.
I'm not a weirdo. You're like drying your hair when you know he's coming in. And you turn around, let it sear into his brain, and then cover back up again. And about 12 years from now, he's going to be sitting around the quad at lunch going, my dad has such a huge cock. And you see when those friends come over to hang out, the newfound respect, the way they treat you, totally different.
Adam, would you say that it would be your gavel?
That would be my gavel. Right. Yes. I've told people to do this. I hope many have heeded my call. All right. What else we got?
All right. So there's this video of this Grammy-nominated gospel singer who has nearly kicked off a Delta flight when she refused to stop performing her new single on the flight.
This is becoming a trend, by the way.
It really is. Yeah.
Asian or Jewish?
We'll find out. We'll find out in this video.
Find out.
So her name's Bobby
profile.
Storm.
Yeah.
I think you're wrong about both.
What?
And so, yeah, here's the video.
I'm charting right now on the Billboard.
Oh, my God.
She's charting right now on the Billboard charts, and they're asking her to please sit down. She's in the middle of the aisle. She was singing.
I'll sit down.
She's heading back to her seat.
Seatbelt signs off. The seatbelt signs off. It's not a disturbance. I was like, you know, I haven't done this in a while. I've gotten to the next status, so.
Are you able to be quiet?
But they're enjoying it. So while we're sitting here, could I please?
I'm not enjoying it. So I'm asking you, can you be quiet?
Okay, well, I'll find that up.
That's a yes or no answer, please.
Am I going to go to jail if I don't?
Can you please answer my question? Are you willing and able to be quiet right now?
I'm doing what the Lord is telling me to do.
I'm asking you a question, yes or no. I'm your flight leader. I need you to follow my instruction.
Okay.
My instruction for you to answer my question. Are you able to be quiet?
What do you guys think?
Oh, my.
I'm asking you, man.
What if
I'm asking you
Lou
guys.
Reed sung on an airplane?
What do you guys think?
Okay.
The guy would fly
If you're
into a
not able to follow my
volcano.
instruction, you will not be taking this flight.
Okay.
Are you
so that's
able
what I
to
was
be
asking.
quiet?
If that's the case, then that's fine.
Yeah. So she some people actually applauded her when she was trying to ask for their help, and you know she was.
Well, you're being held hostage, right?
Yeah, it's awkward.
Was
right?
the plane on the ground at the time or in the air at the time?
Unclear.
It said the seatbelt sign was off, so they must have
be
been
in the air. Yeah.
They must have got to their altitude.
That's bad.
But then how's he throwing her off the plane? Like they're turning around? Listen,
I mean, they've had planes make emergency flights. For
that's
passengers
landings. Yeah,
I mean, emergency landings. Yeah,
Or they tape you up.
That's why I've said
Tape
it
her
for
mouth
years.
closed.
They need to have a fucking shark cage in the back of every now and just throw every nut job in there.
Sure.
Oh, the billboard thing. What a billboard chart now is become so irrelevant.
It's 100 plays.
Is that the equivalent of thinking you're the shit because you got 1,000 subscribers on YouTube?
But also, well, I don't know what happened. What happened?
That's all it is. She just
there's a follow up. I mean, they didn't.
The singing on the plane is
They didn't
out
turn
of
the
control.
plane around, right?
No, they didn't.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
she shut up.
Yeah, she shut up.
A plane incident for me.
The Lord told her it's time to shut up.
Like, this is Odell Beckham Jr. did the same thing in this offseason without the Lord invocation. And it's like, I just cannot respect Odell Beckham Jr. anymore. Like, if you make a scene on an airplane, you're the scum of the earth to me.
I listen. We're going to have to implement something where, like, you get on the plane and everyone that gets on the plane, they just go, give me your watch or your shoes or your wallet, like something of value. And then you go, okay. And it just all goes into a hopper and they go, you're not getting any of this shit back if you don't just go back there and just shut the fuck up.
Yes.
If I see you singing gospel or spouting off or arguing, you're not getting your fucking wallet or your shoes back. So here's our deal. You can retrieve your wallet and your shoes as you're deboarding the plane when we get to Orlando. But if you fucking go back there and get drunk and start getting
Anyone
into
who
it
takes a phone call
with your
deserves to
fucking
be murdered.
seatmate, you're not getting your shit back. That would solve all this problem immediately.
You know, Adam, I'm going to. I think we should have a potato gun on the back of the plane that shoots it into orbit, basically, at 30,000 feet. And also, if you listen to music or a movie without headphones, your wallet's getting shot out of the plane.
Yes.
I have a very low bar on this one.
It's an ejection potato gun, or it's going right out of the back.
Gone.
Yes.
If you have a Holocaust ring your grandmother gave you, it's getting shot out over Kansas City.
I totally will blue ice it. Fucking flush it, blue ice it.
Bam.
Pow.
Sure. Yeah. If you vape on the plane, if you have a service dog that takes a shit on the plane, that goes without saying.
Oh, well, I solved the service dog problem a long time ago, which is you just show up at the airport and anyone's got a service dog that is not properly documented. Look, the thing about if a dog doesn't have a handle on it, it's not a service dog. If it's got 12 foot of bedazzled leash, that's not a fucking service dog.
Yeah.
And we just take it and we put it right into the air cannon that we use to test the metallurgy on jet propellers. We usually fire frozen chickens into those, but now we're going to use your dog. And we just fucking film it. We put it up on all... Sorry, CNN. We're putting this up and you just fire it and then the fucking... red mist comes out of the back of the jet engine, and then we go, any other motherfuckers want to try to sneak their dog into this goddamn airport? You may try, but this may happen. We have the woman there. It's like a Hamas video. We bring her out to the tarmac. She gets to say goodbye to the dog. We load up the cannon. Wait till it gets to 700 PSI, and then just boom, right in, just pop. And we save chickens. Good eatable chickens.
So with you, man. Mm-hmm. It is a thing because we travel a lot for my YouTube channel, and wherever you are in the country, you know when your plane is bound for Los Angeles based on the caliber of the citizenry in the plane.
A lot of influencers.
A lot of influence. A lot of sideways pink hats. A lot of service dogs. A lot of vape plumes just coming up from various seats. A lot of music without headphones. Just a lot of general disruption. Really, I mean, the city itself in a microcosm on that plane headed to Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's like the Vegas stripper flight on Thursday night, from Burbank. They take on theme.
I didn't know that was a thing, but that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
All right, what else we got, Mexipeta?
All right, well, speaking of all these videos that have been going on planes, so there's been a lot of altercations on planes, I've noticed, like sports games, like in the stands, fans getting into fights. And lately, a lot of drive-thru videos of people just going crazy at fast food restaurants in the drive-thru, like guns being pulled out. This one that I'm going to show you, this is in Maryland. This is a disgruntled man who went ballistic, made a complete mess, and shocked the drive-thru staff at a McDonald's.
I can't wait.
Oh no. Throwing drinks.
Oh, don't throw the Coke.
Shut it down right now!
Yeah.
Is not fucking good.
He's
Give
not
me
happy.
some food!
Give him some food.
Uh-oh. He's trying to get in.
I own all this shit!
Fucker.
That's a cuter.
Well, you're not getting your food now.
I know.
And if you do, there's going to be a snot rocket in it for sure.
Give me some damn real food!
This guy...
Think he's a YouTube prankster?
Give me some fucking fries. Give me that.
This guy's wearing his sunglasses on a ski beanie, which you see sunglasses on a trucker's hat, that's trouble. When you see it on a ski beanie, that's next level.
Go back, you stupid bitch. They come in for 3 months. Stupid fucking
Give
whore.
him a bag of food.
Don't ever stupid shit to whitey again, you dumb bitch. Yo, I ain't taking all this country, white or black.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway. So he's
fired up.
He has been caught. They are not identifying him publicly, but yeah.
All right.
What's his deal? Was he a crazy person?
They're not.
Was that
they're
like
not
a
even
drug
saying.
thing?
Yeah, people are assuming it's a drug thing.
But did he get out of his car? Was that like a normal acting in that manner? Or was this
can we? Can we agree? Oh, sorry. Keep going. But I got
that's
a
a
solution.
question. Do you think that's a normal getting out of his car, or do you think that's a like a drug addict lunatic?
That's just a Tuesday for him. All right. Here's what we need now. We just need it now, and I'll be fine with this. Every business needs a paintball gun now, and look, it'll leave a welt. It'll leave a mark. Anyone's ever been hit with a paintball,
sure,
it'll leave a mark, but it doesn't break the skin, and it's not going to hurt you.
It's just unpleasant enough.
But you must turn and leave. When somebody is pelting you, at that point, you stop. Whatever it is you're doing. You just have, like if they had a paintball gun, the second this guy started yelling, pop, pop in the chest, and he's out. He's leaving. You have to leave. You know what I mean? Like if somebody comes into the Home Depot and they're like, I'm going to bust open this case and I'm going to steal some of this Milwaukee bat, pop, pop.
Yeah.
You have to leave. You can't continue doing what you're doing.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you could be balls deep in the most beautiful woman in the planet. 2 good fucking paintballs in your ass. You hop off, boner gone. You're fucking screaming. You know what I'm saying? Yelling at the kid to come in and look at what's left of your dick before it goes away completely. Like,
Leatherface.
Whatever it is you're doing, you stop.
Yeah.
Sure.
You could be looting. You could be busting up at McDonald's. You could be fighting at an airport. You could be doing all the shit we see. Paint gun.
It's like what the spray bottle is to a cat.
Yes.
Yes, it just stop. And we're now at the point where if you run a Home Depot or McDonald's or an Arby's or a Costco or whatever,
or a Gucci,
the fucking greeter has to have a fucking paint gun.
Yeah.
And it must be seen. You know what I mean? Like
Out
you
in
walk
public.
past this guy, you know, like the fucking guy riding shotgun on the stagecoach. He didn't have that shit hidden under the seat. You saw he had a shotgun that stopped you from robbing the stagecoach, you know? Paintballer. And I'm talking the one with like the big 40-piece hopper on top.
Oh.
Too.
What kind of rate of fire are you looking at? Because I used to play semi-professional paintball.
That's why I brought it up.
It was an early 2000s thing. And some of them, because...
you look like such a paintball.
Yeah. So my gun was very quiet. It sounded like a silenced 9mm. And I think its rate of fire was about 17 balls per second. For what you're talking about,
17
Adam,
a second.
I kind of like the 4 or 5 rounds a second with like the pop, pop, pop. It's more punitive.
We're making a statement.
We are.
Right.
And it's more like you are a nuisance to society, and it's shameful. Whereas like the minigun,
right?
That I don't think that gets the
we
point
don't need
across.
the phalanx of paintballs. And also, would anyone ever go like if you just said to an American, like, well, there was this bear. And the bear was up in my trash can. It was rooting through the trash can. It knocked it down. So I shot it in the ass with a paintball, and the bear went away. People go, good for you.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck is different?
Yeah.
Why is this different? You know what I mean? Like, that guy could have got 2 pops, even on a 4 shot per second piece.
Yeah.
And that would, what kind of PSI are you running?
I was running about, compressed air? I'm trying to think 300 feet? No, 300 feet per second. I don't got my PSI measurements. I'm
all
sorry.
right, but we can all agree that 2 good shots in the sternum, and this guy would have got back in his truck.
It would also
right?
be sort of a coveted McDonald's position. You've been here long enough, you get to be the paintball guy.
Just sitting on a stool, constantly oiling it, washing it. People could look at you.
We could get veterans off the street with that job.
Oh, that's right. These guys are trained.
Also, I like the tar.
Veteran job for veterans instead of a Walmart.
Well,
greeter.
look, it's schools. There's so many school fights now. You know what I mean?
Paintball
They're
guy.
fucking wilding on guys, laying on the
Teachers
ground. They're
getting
just
attacked.
pop, pop, pop. Fucking mob goes
That's a
away.
Great veteran job.
Some fucking Hamas rally gets out of hand.
Yep.
Just pop, pop, pop.
You tear down a poster of a kidnapped victim.
Yeah, somebody's
Pop, pop.
going into BLM guys are tearing into the electronics stores. Just pop, pop, pop. That's it. They stop. They go away.
And then I got 2 more things I want to add. So first of all, it's the modern tar and feathering. We go pink paint. And make it the stuff that will not wash out of clothing.
We know who you are now.
And then also, we used to have banana scented paint. We could go wild with the scent. The scent could be another
banana scent.
I never thought about it. Yeah.
Why?
We had Bananarama. It was just, it was a way for that paint company, which the boxes of ammunition were like $60.
Oh no, I got you.
So on top of paying your dues at the field, getting your compressed air, the paint, that's why paintball never really caught on as a sport.
I'm going to do you one better. Every 4th ball is filled with mule cum. And you can fuck it. That one's going in the forehead, bro. Like, you want to deal with that?
And you know that, if you keep it up.
You keep it up. You're getting the mule
There's
jizz
a mule in the chamber.
right in the forehead.
3 shots of
Bases are loaded. I've hit you with 3.
right.
Do you want the mule cum?
That's right. This stuff stops tomorrow when we just start implementing my paint gun philosophy.
That is insult to injury that it ruins your clothes too. That's huge.
And you're marked. You know what I mean? We know who you are when you
You're
leave.
like a guy that the thing exploded on you because you stole and tried to take the tag off.
Die pack.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be mule jizz? That is just that is a lynching, dude, when it's mule jizz. It's not even donkey or horse.
I already used moose jizz in my airbag scenario in a book I wrote.
And the Prussian helmet,
too.
too.
A little. Yeah, the Prussian helmet. Well, thank you.
The Prussian helmet popped out, too, in that one.
All right, we'll take a break. We got more viral videos. We'll do that right after this. Hey, I don't know if you guys know, but it's See Better, Drive Safer month now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. They have put a spotlight on items to help you see the road more clearly. All month long, receive gift cards after rebate on select wiper blades and bulbs. If your wiper blades are streaking and smearing, well, they're worn out and they need to be replaced. But good news, you can get up to a $20 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with purchase of select wiper blades. Their professional parts people will install your new wiper blades and they'll do it for free. See the road better with new bulbs? Get up to a $15 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with the purchase of Sylvania Silver Star Ultra or select ZXE twin pack bulbs. They'll even help you pick out the right bulb for your vehicle. Visit your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store for details. O Rewards members receive 2 times O Rewards points on select bulbs and up to 4 times points on cleaning supplies for your vehicle. Don't miss the See Better, Drive Safer month now at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
And now, Alcoa presents Definitely Not a Jew on the Adam Carolla Show. Dateline, Clearwater, Florida. A 35-year-old 7-Eleven employee was charged with battery after assaulting a female customer with a lemonade big gulp. Definitely not a Jew.
Ryan Long and Danny Mullen and Danny's.
All that paintball talk got him hot and bothered.
He'll be back. Now, look, when I bring up the paintball stuff, there's detractors, and they'll go, well, what if a person, like an innocent person or just some kid or something, like gets hit with a straight paintball? Okay, but what if the guy pulls a whole computer rack and knocks it over on somebody's head?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people always go, well, what about this?
Why would an innocent person get hit with a paintball? Anyway?
Would you rather get hit with your kid be hit with a stray paintball or be attacked like at a McDonald's? Like somebody picks up the paper towel dispenser and smashes it on his head. Like that's number one. Then number two, they would say, well, what if the crazy guy, what if you shot him in the eye or something? It's like, well, he's
trained.
asking for it. He started it. We know how to handle. The guy's not going to miss his chest. But if he does, well, then don't tear up a McDonald's. The shit can happen. Is what I'm saying.
And this isn't just going to be anyone doing the paintball. This is a revered position, as we've said.
Well, this would be like Danny's team, like ex-paintball teammates, or maybe we'll find the guys from the ska band who just dance and now are out of a gig.
They're probably the same guy, honestly.
Just a guy named Cody on his 9th Monster Energy drink.
Is there any way you would miss, if I just said stand 15 feet away from that dude and hit him in the sternum with your paintball gun, is there any way you'd hit him any other place in the sternum?
It's been about 18 years since I fired a paintball gun, but I think I would find my target pretty quickly.
Yeah, and he would stop.
Yeah, he would.
It fucking hurts.
He would.
All right. And they'd be fucked up, too. They'd be like, what? There'd be no the context for it. They'd be insulted. They might have their feelings hurt.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
Well, before I get to this next, so Danny just did a YouTube video at Evergreen College. You remember Evergreen College?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Evergreen was
that the Brett Weinstein one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
was that the No White People Day? Was that
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, this is okay. Those assholes prove my point all the time when people do the thing where they go, we just want rights. We just want to be treated the same. We want gay marriage. We wanted the same rights afforded to straight couples. And they go, fine, have gay marriage. Good, take it. They go, we're not done. It's like, oh, you just want to be agitated because the blacks are like a day without black people, and the white people are like, okay, don't show up.
I think the white people on that college were probably part of the organizing squad, right?
Oh yeah, and
they
then
were like,
they did it for a while, and then they're like, oh, that's not enough. See, we're aggrieved. We have grievances.
Yeah.
Now, we don't just say we're fucking pain in the ass and all we want to do is bellyache about everything. They just go, we want this, we want that. And then as soon as you give it to them, they go, well, now we want drag queen story hour. Mm-hmm. And you go, what? We want trannies shaking their fucking cock and balls in front of 4-year-olds. And you go, no. Oh, we can't do that? It's like,
we got an issue.
You wanted gay marriage. You got it. We wanted a judgment-free society. You have it, but you're aggrieved. You want to keep going. That's what happened to Weinstein.
The organism must keep growing.
That's right.
And so Danny went as a pro-Palestinian, like Free Palestine rally.
Mm-hmm.
So Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
She's been doing some pro-Palestine stuff and chanting Palestine will be free and things like that.
Of course, because she just has to be on the wrong side of whatever John Wayne would want. That's what it is. And you can set your watch to it. It's like, oh, where does Rolling Stone come down on any of this? Like, where does any? Of course they're gonna.
Right.
She fucking probably loves Lou Reed.
She might. I don't know what her musical tastes are. But so she was at a large climate protest in Amsterdam, and she was talking about how Palestine will be free, and she was interrupted, and this is what happened.
Yeah, she turned the climate protest into like the because everything's everything, right?
Yeah, 100%.
We have not been listening. The people in power have not been listening.
I've come here for a climate demonstration, not a political fuel.
So yeah, this guy came up singing.
Immediately, people are hands on him, touching him.
Fucking my paintballs would solve this shit.
Ooh, you need 17 balls a
Start
second.
talking about Hamas, pop, pop, pop. Right back to windmills.
Greta saying, calm down.
Greta sort of has a strut to her now, right?
Yeah.
She thinks she's pretty cool.
She's got some juice. She also...
She's got to be pretty rich now, too.
No climate justice on occupied.
Yeah, she's mixing it up.
How many causes can
I'm just saying, they're going to be on the wrong side of everything. Why is that a coincidence to people? You know what I mean? Like, if you talk to me, I would be like, yeah, I'm for gay marriage, and then I want to beef up the border.
Right.
Like, you wouldn't just go, he's for everything that Biden is against, or vice versa. I would. There's some nuance to it.
Sure.
Like, I'm cool with abortion. I'm cool with gay marriage, but I want to lower taxes and shrink the government. Like, okay, because I'm a human being. Well, how do I know what you're going to land on before we start it? Is what I'm saying. That's
every issue.
How did I know all you pussies were going to land in the exact same COVID bin?
Yes.
How? And should have been totally nuanced. Should have been just as many people going, masks don't work in Hollywood than masks do work, or open schools or close them. Nope, all the same place.
You said that you respect anybody who's honest and has honest opinions on stuff. My thing is, when I'm determining whether or not a celebrity is a pussy, I just need one thing on their Wikipedia section that I can latch onto. Like for a while, John Cleese from Monty Python was really pissing me off. Just everything was about Trump and how Biden's great. And I was like, motherfucker, like this sucks. Like, I like John Cleese. But I found on his Wikipedia that he got canceled for saying that slavery was not a United States sin alone. And there have been slaves since the beginning of time. And he got a bunch of blowback for that. I can like John Cleese.
Well, you're just like, okay, so this is at least that's what you actually think.
Yes.
You're not just going with the program.
He's honest, and yes, he didn't just go for the everything. He didn't order the number one on the menu, which is just all the woke shit.
All of it in lockstep. I know. The other thing about Greta Thunberg is when she first hit the scene at like 16, I was like, we could have potential hotness here, but this could go either way.
I'm going to write a date rape rock song about her. Or a statutory rape rock song about her.
Look, when you see
we both know the world's going to end. Little girl.
Let's get to sucking.
Or the greenhouse gases.
Oh, well, here's what I'm saying. When you see Brooke Shields at 15, you go, okay, I know which way this is going. This is good. You know what I mean? You see like a 15-year-old Brooke Shields and you go, this is a hottie. And she's going to be hot. You see Cindy Crawford at 16. You don't go, I don't know if she's going to look like at 19. No, better. You know what I mean? I knew which way. You can tell which way people are going.
I knew that about Jaden Smith. I go, this guy's going to be this guy's going to be a man.
Now, if you go back to the facts of life and you see like 15-year-old Mindy Cohen, you go, all right, this is going a different direction here. There's good. You see kids. Listen, when your kids get old enough and their friends start coming over, guys and girls, you'll see the 15, 16-year-old version of them and go, oh, that's a good-looking, she's going to be a good-looking lady. And oh, that's a good-looking dude.
That guy's going to be fat. Like, you can sort of see the things, yeah.
Yeah, it's like hairline receding at 14 and a half. You know what I mean?
Well, that's every guy that looked like 40
bad posture.
when he was 18.
No, what I'm saying is Greta Thunberg, when I saw her at 16, I was like, this could go either way. This is a coin toss. This could be a path to hotness or not. I don't think it worked out. That's all.
How old's Greta now here?
She's like 20.
Although I think it wouldn't work for her image to be hot. So even if she was hot, she would have to like put on some pounds and
but we could still tell she was hot. I know, like those 80's movies where the hot chick puts the glasses on. She's like, oh, what, Cindy? She works in the library. Like, you can't see those double T's pushing through the sweater.
You can't be like the climate activist and also not be a little gross.
Is it like, is being super left-wing and angry all the time, there's got to be a cigarettes per day smoked equivalent to what that does to your system.
Oh, they just came out with a study that said having no friends and being lonely is like smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
That has to be true.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's like your will to live.
There's an emotional side. Yes, waking up pissed off at the world and or thinking it's going to end in 8 years has to take its toll.
Yeah.
All right. Was there any more with Greta? Sorry.
Oh, no, that's it. Yeah, just she was interrupted, but she got that guy.
But she loves out. Palestine.
Because
of course. But I mean, because what would piss off John?
And
Wayne?
I think that she'd fit well in at Evergreen, right? Like,
perfect.
They would love her. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. 99% acceptance rate. Brainwash psychos.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't. It doesn't become curious to them that they're like. What I keep sort of getting back to, it's like, okay, you guys all thought the exact same thing about COVID. And you also thought the exact same thing about Hunter Biden's laptop, and you all thought the exact same thing about Kyle Rittenhouse and Oshkosh or whatever.
Yeah.
You just thought the same about everything, and then you turn out to be wrong about everything. That doesn't make you pump the brakes just a little, like when the next thing comes down the pike and you go, well, the ladies from The View, and you're like, yeah, but they've been wrong about so much for so long.
So there's this new bill that was signed into law about California schools, and starting next year, they're going to be teaching students media literacy in an attempt to combat the spread of misinformation and spot fake news.
Great.
Right. So we're going to get the truth minister appointed by Biden to suss out all the fake news and all the dangerous stories and all the mis and disinformation that turned out to be right over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Because they would have squashed every one of those stories would have been flagged. Hunter Biden's laptop, anything with Joe Biden and Ukraine, anything COVID medications short of the vaccine would have been flagged. They would have flagged all of it. So
anything BLM critical,
right,
everything.
Yeah. So this new bill is authored amid a rising distrust in news media, and particularly among young people.
But here's the problem. The cause seems noble, except for it's them wanting to control the narrative, and I no longer fucking trust you liars. Or you're just you're stupid or you're lying. But I don't trust you anymore.
You're so right. They've been wrong so many. There's that meme going around like reverse Jim Cramer, where Jim Cramer, the financial guy, when he says a stock is going up or down, you just buy. If he says it's going to crash, you fucking buy more of it. It's going up.
Bitcoin and
Delta Airlines is going to 1,000. So you sell your Delta because he's fucking wrong.
Listen,
it's the same shit.
These guys thought Michael Avenatti was the next. He's in prison now. Michael Avenatti, ladies from The View. I know you had a big time crush on Michael Avenatti. He's in jail. This is all you do is be wrong, and then you want to be the arbiters of what can get out there?
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts. Yeah, so I like in theory what they're talking about, but if they're talking about them being labeled as wrong the whole time, then fine.
They're never able to stick to their objective anyway. You know what I mean?
They move right on. So is this going to happen in California schools?
Starting next year. But it's weird. So this new law doesn't include funding to train the teachers, an advisory committee, input from librarians, surveys, or a way to monitor the effectiveness of the. But the author, Assemblyman Mark Berman, Democrat out of Palo Alto, he said those features will be implemented later. Keeping the legislation simple is key to getting it passed. So, but they're gonna teach kids how to spot fake news.
Is there any criteria that they've listed already for as far as like how they're going to do that?
No, they just said
the more orange it is, the more fake it is.
Right. If I see any Cheetos.
They're going to weave the material into existing classes and lessons throughout the school year instead of forming a standalone course.
This is the Orwellian part of this era we're in right now, where you have Fauci, who's either lied or been wrong about everything COVID, getting up there going, I'm worried about dangerous misinformation on the internet. Where are they getting this information? It's like, you and Rochelle Walensky and all of you are the source of all the wrong information. And they do a weird straw man thing, which I got into with Neil deGrasse Tyson, who I like. But they do this thing. They'll make this argument all the time. They'll go, look, Fauci, Rochelle Walensky, and all these people have all these board-certified virologists and experts in their field. And then you go on the internet and there's some nut job who's wearing a cereal box on his head telling you to drink fish tank cleaner, and you listen. It's like, no. There's a bunch of other physicians from Stanford and Harvard and major universities who have 40 years experience each who are saying, I'm not going on the computer and finding the guy who's hitting himself on the head with his own flip-flop who works in the sewage management plant in Arkansas.
And he's not getting paid by the people telling him what to say.
No, it's not him. We're listening to other doctors, other accredited people who have a different opinion. So this fucking argument, they always do it. It's always insulting, but that's their argument every time. Yeah. Jesus Christ. And you are not trying to silence the guy who's wearing the cereal box on his head. You're trying to silence the group of physicians who say we should reopen schools in society. That's what you guys are doing. So they always switch right in the middle of the argument. They fucking...
And you clearly have your incentives lined up to do so.
But it'd be like if you said, I had 2 estimates on re-roofing my house, and you called the other roofer, and you went, I'm not giving you the bid for roofing my house. I'm going to go with the other guy, and you're going to go with the crack-addicted, homicidal, unemployable, insane prison felon who's never been on a roof. No, I'm going with Acme Roofing. That guy's been working in this neighborhood for 40 years. Oh, you want to hear some crazy man bang at the moon on top of your roof all night, molesting your daughter? Like, no, this guy's licensed and bonded, and he does roofing. And so I'm listening to him, you fucking retards. All right, I'm now angry. I between this and you bringing up Lou Reed.
Hey, on that anger note, I think I'm going to rip
you
out.
You got to go.
My thing was an hour.
I'm giving you plugs right now.
Thank
I'm
you very much.
No, don't leave. Me. We're leaving now. We're leaving with you.
Okay.
We're going with you.
All right.
I'm not. I mean, spiritually.
Catch me in Toronto.
I want to give
Phoenix.
Yes, Phoenix.
Toronto,
coming up.
Phoenix, Colorado just added as well.
RyanLongComedy.com is where you go. Danny Mullen Official is where you go. You can go to AdamCarolla.com. Sacramento sold out, but Fargo and Nashville and Huntsville. Do it all. And until next time, this is Adam for Ryan and Danny and Chris saying, Mahala.